Yeah. No. 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 No.
Hey y'all. Hey y'all. Hey Nick. What's up, Nene? What's up, Johnny? How's you all doing today? These people sit around and all they do is dream of our money. That's what they do all day, every day. Sit back and dream of our money. How they gonna get our money, honey? That's what they dream of. Mm-hmm. Yes, they do. And how they gonna get our money out of us for everything? That's what they do. So we're gonna go back, and then what is going on with someone? I don't know. I really know. I really know. We don't know. Mm-hmm. So we getting ready to start in 1 second. She got the tea pot out. No, that's outside this time. It tanked me. It tanked me this time. It tanked me. So that's all I was doing, just what I thought he would, trying to be like his teeth. His teeth. His teeth. His teeth.
You already know we all trying to make ourselves into a money.
Y'all think our king
I'm still me. I still gotta live. I still gotta be myself. But you already know we all trying to make ourselves into a money machine. So I figured out how to do that, and I just decided to raise my value. Y'all can't hire me no more. Good luck buying a reading from me. I'm paid now. I don't need.
Now all of a sudden, all of a sudden, Malaya got now her lips work, right? Now Malaya lips work. Now she could do a whole lot of talking, right? She could talk a lot now. The lips are working. Mm-hmm. From them not being all swollen and beaten up. Mm-hmm. Them lips working now. No, that is not Carter. Y'all would have heard me. If that was Carter, and Carter starts with a K, it's Kater, not with a C, it's with a K, but that wasn't Carter. I'm like, Carter, shush. That's somebody else's dog this time. It ain't Carter. It looks, it's much better. It's much better. Her lips is down. Her eyes are not black. She's able to open her mouth. So she got a lot of talking. Now y'all know, girl, you wasn't talking like that for the last past 2 weeks. Go on with yourself now. Go on with yourself. Go on and play with somebody else. Thank you, Carly. Go right ahead. No, she said she's sorry. Carter it was with his pappy. He with his pappy, thank goodness. He with his pappy. He ain't bothering me. But he will be out. So let's get to these people who dream about our money. They don't dream about nothing else but how they gonna get out, not our money, but how they gonna get people money. That's in their dreams every night. Poppy, people money. Poppy, people money. Bobby, 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 people money. Bobby, people money. That's the greatest dream.
king to deserve to be in prison for a life sentence
Plus 10.
plus 10 years without parole?
Uh-huh.
Come on now, everybody know that he don't deserve to be in there for no life sentence.
And you would think that they would stop with the threes, right? You would think they would stop throwing up the threes. So now they found another way to throw up the three. They stupid. So now they sat there all these days to find out how do we don't throw up these threes, but still proclaim the kingdom, right? So she sits up there and they think of, well, you know what? Let's just keep the finger folded in. Again, y'all stupid. Y'all, who do y'all think y'all fooling with the hand like that? Nobody keeps the fingers up like y'all all day, every day. He trained y'all. Y'all supposed to flash it. That's it. You do little flashes, 1, 2, 3, flash it. Then you go back to regular, and then you keep flashing it. You don't keep it like that, okay? So now y'all got a fancy way of doing, still reclaiming the three, and y'all went and made y'all some jewelry and stuff. And now she got on F-Ru clothes. One of them, they wear each other clothes anyway, right? Because clothes is just clothes. It doesn't really matter, right? And this girl out on bail. I hope that that homeless shelter get her ass, because it looks like she got a home. Let her stay right with them. And They put a whole black curtain up there so we don't see nothing. But let's go.
This is a really corrupt case, and we just come to give updates and to
You ain't give us no updates. We know the proceedings. You ain't give us no updates. We know how it go, but if it make y'all feel better, carry on.
let the people know what's going on and that we need legal assistance or just donations. You can send donations.
Nope.
You can send, your support, your strength, your upliftment.
No.
Anything helps because we send all of the comments that you send. We send them out as letters to our king because he gets letters. He gets pictures.
No.
And if anybody wants to just support,
No.
just to uplift his spirit, to
No.
keep his spirit strong.
No.
Because they're trying to kill his spirit. They're trying to kill his spirit.
They will not.
And it won't prosper. Like no weapon formed against us shall prosper.
That's true. Because we do thank everybody who has been helping and who has been supporting. We read all of your messages and we get so much love amidst all of the hate. We do get so much love and support, and I do want to say that I continue to give my gratitude and my thanks to everybody who has been watching, everybody who has had their opinion and has given it and has reached out and said, you know what, I'm with y'all. This was not a fair trial. I watched the whole thing to the end, and you guys are right.
That was not a fair trial.
And so we thank you guys, and just continue to send us the love and support because we are up for a battle here.
Yes.
This is so big. I mean, this is shedding light to the injustices that are happening within our system. How does someone get life without the possibility of parole with no violence, nobody's ended up being murdered or killed or anything like that?
Nothing.
And then you had the person saying or describing the love making. It just doesn't make sense. And I talk to a lot of people and I'm like, you've been watching, you've been hearing everything. Does this sound like something that he's deserving of? It's like, no, not at all. So we do have a lot of stuff in store, a lot of other ways that we're going to be updating you guys on later on throughout the week.
Yes.
On how you guys could be able to donate. We have a lot of things coming, so just stay tuned for that stuff.
Yes. It's the time now to support. It's the time now to join forces. It's not the time to separate, to nick and pick, and to look at somebody else's downfall and step on them while they're already down. It's time to unify as a people. It's time to really bring our resources together, our ideas together, because this can be your son, this can be your father, this can be your uncle. They're doing this to a Black man. His name is Eligio Bishop. He had a mission and a purpose and tried to shine light to his community.
Yes.
He does not deserve life, and you know that. There's people out here are doing corrupt things, evil things that's hurting our community and damaging our people further. Eligio is not doing that. He's uplifting people, motivating them, inspiring them to do better in their lives, to change from their old ways and from their old insecure ways, from their old self-hatred ways into loving themselves. The whole motto is, I love myself. Reflection. Break the illusion of separation. I am God. Everyone want to throw away the knowledge and throw away him. You can't do that because what he spoke is true, because he is the truth. Just because you try to demise his character, you will not degrade his words, his truth that he's spoken, because it's the truth. We should all be changing the way we live.
That's right.
This does not mean, this is just showing, like, this is just
people's
showing
true characters.
Exactly.
And, who they were before they even came into our husband's personal life. Like, it's just showing people's characters, and it's just facing them with themselves at this time.
And I do like what you said. It is facing a lot of people. Like, you can't throw him away. Look at all of the great works that he did. Like, how do people go towards the little bit of hate that he has and blow that up? But you can go to natureboytv.com. You can go to Nature Boy TV on YouTube. You can see his work.
Yes.
Work.
Yes.
Like
all his teachings, all the knowledge, all the information. Like he was these people's guru. Like he was in the tropics and the mountaintop way before all these people got to his life.
Yeah.
And you know, it's really it's sad that people can't take responsibility for their character and for who they are and just blame it all on Eligio. Like that's not fair and that hurts.
It does.
You know, because he's in jail right now for a life sentence for something he didn't do. So this is not the time to sit back. This is not the time to just, you know, watch everything play out. This is a time to step up. This is a time for, you know, people to come together and help and see that this is wrong and this is not justice. You know, those people in that courtroom, they were acting like he really did this. Getting up on them stand lying, like no. And so that's why we still here. That's why we still with our husband, because we love him. We will never give up on him. We will never leave him when he's in this type of situation. We will never, you know, desert him. We're going to stay right here through this whole thing because we're going to take care of him. Every need he needs, we're going to take care of him. We are his mothers. We're here to nurture him. We are here to console him back to health. Because when he get out, he going to get out and he going to be shining.
Pyramid.
He going to be getting back to, you know,
Pyramid.
His vibe. You know, everybody, you just want to sit around and watch his vibe. You want to sit around and watch him do his thing. Well, yes, you are. Because this is a faulty case. This was wrong. And we're going to stand on justice. And we're going to stand on truth. And, you know, the righteous thing. Because that wasn't righteous.
No.
You know, for us standing here, standing strong and waiting for our husband, now that's the right thing to do.
Exactly.
In the face of adversity, in the face of haters, in the face of trolls and online haters and online hate groups, this is the right thing to do.
Yeah.
And if you don't like that, then, you know, that's just your bad character and, you know, evil ways that has been brought here on this earth to show what not to do. You know, we are showing what is the righteous thing to do. What's the right thing to do?
Right.
Oh, these women rock for their husband until he get out. That's the right thing to do.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, what these characters are doing online,
You know what now?
please don't follow that. Go to Nature Boy.
The right thing to do, right? Is stop dreaming about money. She said, now what's the right thing to do? What's the right thing to do? What is the right thing to do? What's sad about abandoning your responsibility? Yeah, honey. That would be the right thing to do. Brother Satin. I was supposed to be looking for something and I didn't even find it, but that's okay. We got time to find it.
TV.com. Go to Nature Boy TV on YouTube.
Absolutely
See all
not.
the proof, all the evidence, all the beautiful teachings that our husband has, you know, every day for years put out. Every single day.
Right.
Like that's the truth. That's the narrow path.
Yes.
That's the righteous path. You know, that's the kingdom of heaven. That's the kingdom of God. That's truth. And that's what we stand on. You think because, you know, people left and did what they did, we was gonna do the same thing? Oh no.
We don't care.
It's not even righteous.
No.
If I said I love you, if I said I care for you,
You my
when
friend.
times was up, we in the jungle, you feeding me, we
Right.
watching
I'm gonna
movies, you
stand-
taking me out. We doing from country to country.
And mind you, Eligio, our husband, was funding the whole thing.
Yes.
Don't get it twisted.
And he was not needing nothing from nobody.
And he was not asking anybody for anything.
So why would he allow people that talk shit about him leave and open them arms to come back into his home?
Because
They
he had good heart.
didn't add nothing to him. He didn't get enough value from you talking to shit and then coming back into my life. What did I add from you?
You actually
Right.
gained,
Trying to help
you
you.
gained everything, all the value from him.
Exactly.
actually.
And that's the crazy. That's
So,
the good
yeah.
thing about this is that everything was online.
Mhm.
Like no matter what they said in that trial,
Okay. No matter what they say in the courtroom, y'all been following for years. Some people been following since Poppy was on Facebook.
Mm.
And y'all seen the characters of these people. Y'all seen them leave, come back, leave, come back, leave, come back, and them saying how they truly felt numerous of times on the lives. Real nigga moments. Dr.
Exactly.
Bishop, I want to be with Chief. Y'all seen the things that we went through online
with those.
So for these people to go on that trial, even they said what happened before trial, but they changed their story in court.
That's not right.
And so we can't just sit back and know that
Right.
and just let that be.
Because we have evidence.
We had concrete evidence, and it's all on YouTube.
That he's innocent.
Yeah.
But now we are, like we said,
We're in the
in the
process.
process. We're in the appeal process.
To get it appealed.
So this is quite different from a trial.
Right.
And we're going to be updating you guys and letting you guys know, because if we have information to share with people who are in this same predicament as us, we're going to be able to reach out and help you too.
Yes.
You know, we're not going to just take, we're going to give as well.
Mm-hmm.
But right now we're in the appeal process, and so this is different from the trial.
Right.
Yeah.
So right now we're just waiting.
Right. We have to wait on the
We have
transcripts.
to wait on the transcripts and everything like that. So while we're waiting, we're putting together a few things that we will be revealing later on in the week. Different ways that people will be able to interact with us, and different ways will people be able to reach out and donate and be a part of the movement. This is a movement.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, it's a movement, all right, to get y'all some money. Because what's gonna happen is once y'all decide to become the new evidence, they're gonna burn y'all asses to a stake. They're gonna burn you to a stake. They're gonna burn you to a stake once you guys decide to be new evidence. Because see, the two things that you guys are missing, I should have played his confession. We heard his confession, right? Let's check this out. This is the one thing you guys are missing. Right? This is the one thing you missing. This is what you guys are missing. So let me get this for you. Hold on. They forgetting this part right here. Now, let's go back into time. Now, we all heard Nature Boy. We're going to hear Nature Boy bond hearing again, right? Which we really don't have to hear, but we heard Nature Boy. I want to put it together. So even though we heard it already, we're going to hear it again. Why? Because this is what dummies are forgetting. And they're going to burn you to a stake. To a stake. And this is what we're going to do. This is what we're going to do right here, right? Now, this is what they forgot, and they're going to eat your ass up. Because believe me, they're going to look at this the same way they're going to look at this and eat up the new air. They're going to eat your asses up. And I'm going to be sitting right back there cracking up. I'm going to be cracking up when they eat you up. God dang it. Yes, I am.
But all I'm getting is, this is what I'm telling you.
He was kept. Girl, not only, hey guys, get the tissues out. Want to hear, and then I don't want to do this no more. And then he says to her,
it's like, it wasn't no stop, no, Ellen, never. It was like, babe.
No, it's a complete equal pinned.
I can be aggressive. I think that's my art. I mean, what if somebody tells an aggressive guy like you, I don't even know kind of people.
Guys, what's going on? Hey.
You know what I'm saying? I'm revenge porn, but that's just silly because I have the whole video of her consenting. Like, I literally have the video in my phone. Like, we plan to do sex education for black people to show them what we learned through Egyptology. So literally, she's in the video, like, so come on, bro. Like, we're not even that kind of vibe. Other people around are on that kind of vibe. Like, we're not even those kind of people. Yeah, I said, Malia, be nice, because Malia got an attitude problem. She thinks she a gangster. She thinks she a little thug. So she said, I said, why you telling me that? They're not opposite. I'm not against it. I'm public. Look, what's your name about? Okay, for you. 939-349-178. Just know I'm an innocent man. I'm innocent. Like, I want you to know that. And I want you to feel my heart right now. Okay. I did not rape anyone. I wouldn't, honestly, I did a she did that as a victim, right? Okay, so real quick, because I want you to talk, but I can't listen to you unless you kind of give rights to you to talk to me. I don't want my words to be turned on me, or I'm scared at this point because what's being said about me is falsely advertised, bro. Like, I really honestly on my daughter's life, bro. I did not rape anybody.
So let's just go through that real quick.
Okay.
You can not worry about it real quick, okay?
Okay, but look, if you want to have an attorney, though, you have the right. I mean, I'm going I have to get an attorney because this is wrong. Because
But
everybody.
that's what we're gonna go through with you within.
Okay, I'm gonna stop.
And it's just so that at the end, you can say that, you know, you don't want to talk now because you want to get an attorney.
No. I just, okay, well, that's what we want to hear. Yeah,
But we gotta let you know all these rights that you have.
okay. These are my Mirandas. First,
Okay, you can, this is silly.
So again, they sat there and they say, "Hey, Nature Nut, these are your Miranda rights." He's still running his mouth, right? Exactly. But he gonna switch up. Oh, let me do a little roll call again. Hey, Spice. Hey, Summer. Hey, me, the great one, Ms. Rod and Ray Ron. This is just his confessions. This is not a whole video. This is just the confessions. But again, you see that he was read his Miranda rights. You see he keeps talking. But at this point, that light, that could be nice to hit that light.
What's your birthday, sir?
4/29/82. This is crazy because I know about the girl saying I'm revenge porn, but that's just silly because
See, girl said revenge P. Right? Now let's hear. Now I said to Malia, be nice. Now he threw Malia under the bus, right? Hey, what's up, NFO? Long time no see. Hey, baby. What is going on? How are you? Right. Now, nobody asked about Malia, right?
Listen,
Nobody asked
listen
about
now.
Malia.
I'ma skip through
He
this.
throws Malia. He thinks that
We heard this. I'ma skip through this because I want it together. I want it together.
let me throw Malia under the bus. I am good, love. And it's like I said, it's good to see all my babies. When you lie, things flow, right? They flow. But he already in his mind, got in his mind what he's gonna do or what he's gonna say. But he don't know exactly what to say because he done did so much. He did so much in them 2 days. Them 2 days alone, he did so freaking much. He don't know what to say. Yes, love. Yes. I get my days off too, but yes, love. Right? So
939-349-1718. Just know I'm an innocent man. This is I'm innocent. Like I want you to know that. And I want you to feel my heart right now. Okay. I did not rape anyone. I wouldn't honestly the revenge porn, she did that as a victim, right?
Okay, so real quick, because I want you to talk, but I can't listen to you unless I read you.
there you go. I didn't bait anyone. They did not ask him that, right? See, this is what his supporters, they're not listening to this clear at all. They never brought up, I didn't bait no one. He brought up the word bait, right? That was all Nature Nut. That's what he did. So y'all don't know how to listen to the bus because he don't know they're gonna talk to him about that. But he do know he got served them papers, so he know he got to talk about that. He don't know if he's there for Malaya. He don't know if he's there for the party. At this point, he don't know nothing. So he said, "Let me just clear everything up because I'm innocent again," as so he say. Right? He just too busy running his mouth. In his next lifetime, though, he's gonna have an attorney.
I see you didn't talk to me.
I don't want my words to be turned on me, or I'm scared at this point because what's being said about me is falsely advertised, bro. Like I really honestly on my daughter's life, bro. I did not rape anybody.
So let's just go through that real quick.
Okay.
Now, again, they did not mention Bape, right? They did not mention Bape. What would make him mention Bape? What would make him go from Malaya to the video to Bape? They didn't see what's happening here is They didn't mention nothing. And they said, well, the person never said babe. They didn't have to. She didn't have to. Nature Boy did. They know what's in the report. But so where did that come up at? Where did the word bait come up at if it wasn't spoke upon? Right? But again, from what we hear, it was never mentioned. Nature Boy mentions it, but then she talks about it, right? She talks about it. This is where they're stupid at. All of them stupid, and they think we stupid right with them. Let's go. Ask them yet. They didn't ask them. So being that he decided to mention it. That's why you got to stop at every scene. But just so y'all want to hear it, I'm gonna let it play in full, right? Okay.
Not worry about it.
Okay, but look, if you want to have an attorney, though, I mean, you have the right to have, I'm gonna have to get an attorney because this is wrong as
And
everybody.
that's what we're gonna go through with you within.
Okay, I'm gonna stop, and it's just so that at the end, you can state that, you know, you don't want to talk now because you want to get an attorney. No. I just want.
Again, they're trying to. People said that this was not done right. This was done right from the beginning. Even they tried to save him. This is even before the 7 years. They tried to save him when he said, "Oh, Malaya gonna tear up my house." She no, and I threw her out. I told her to go. Malaya had nothing to do with this. I told you guys. I didn't even remember. We didn't know about this, but I told you because Malaya's name has to come up because that happened, right? And then he throws in the word bait. They didn't ask him that yet. He the one saying bait no one. That was nature nut. And at that point, the detective said, you might want a lawyer. No, my lawyer may turn against me. Ninja, you don't even have a lawyer. You could have gotten a public lawyer, or you just could have shut your mouth.
Completely fine, bro. Okay, I would never do that, bro. Okay, and I didn't do no revenge porn.
Let's just get through this.
Okay, you can rewrite the shots, right? Right. And this one, you should put your initials for me. Okay, you got to influence alcohol or drugs. Okay, then you'll influence a high school education.
Now remember, guys, he done so much crap. He don't know why he's there, right? But he do know he gets subpoenaed for to go to court for the revenge tape he put out. He do know that, but he don't know what else is said. So he done so much within that week. He don't know what else they gonna ask him. So there he go running his mouth, figure out if I tell you all of these things, what I say make it true. See, that's what he's saying. What I say make it true. Again, we seen this, but this is why it ain't gonna work. Ain't gonna work.
Like 12.
Again, they did not mention vape, right? So either it was on the report or it was not on the report. Because why would Nature Boy mention vape, right? Why? They didn't say you're here because blank. They will say that later on, but if you notice in the beginning, they did not say that. But of course, the Kleenex tissue sisters, send him some Kleenex, and all his beautiful supporters, we're going to send them some Kleenex. Thank you for the fund, for the Kleenex, the Kleenex fund, so we can send them all some tissues because they don't know how to listen. They don't know because Nature Boy is doing all the talking. This is the easiest case they ever had to do. They didn't have to trick him. They didn't have to do anything. He's going down as the easiest confessions ever. They didn't even have to use no strategy. They ain't had to do none of that. Nature Boy, blah, 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 blah. He's the one who told about Malia. Now, he didn't record him kicking her all in the stomach. That was the video before when she ran away, Miss Rod. You say nothing. Here you go.
If you were detective, you can detect when somebody's lying. You feel my heart.
Understanding these rights, let's do about you wish to talk to us. At this time, if you want to talk to us, initially yes. If you don't, then
Yeah, if you want to have a attorney, you do that.
if you want to,
They still trying to get this man to get an attorney, but Nature Nut refused to do it because he'd already told his people, I'll be out tomorrow, right? He already told his people, I'll be out tomorrow. That's what he said. I'll be out tomorrow. Let me just go say what I got to say to these people. I'll be out tomorrow. All right? All right.
okay, this is per your right.
I have nothing to hide.
Okay, then if you want to talk to us, initially yes. And then sign below.
But just so verbally, you understand your rights and you do want to talk to us right now.
Because I don't want to do the right thing, and I don't know what's gonna do. I got you, just need to trust the universe, whatever, I'll talk to you.
He said, I'll talk to you. I'll do the right thing, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to tell you why these two videos I'm going to play is very important. So he's figuring, well, if I go there and I say this and I ain't got nothing to hide, they're not going to listen to nothing I said. Because again, he told his people, I will be home in a little bit. Because he's thinking he's playing the system. He's thinking he's playing the system. And by him thinking, I'm going to tell him I don't need a lawyer. Because that's going to make them believe me too. Why would I need a lawyer if I ain't do nothing? Remember, Nation Nut, you're not the first criminal who sat in that seat, Nature Boy. Nature Nut, you are not the first criminal who have sat in that seat. Okay? All right.
I'm just trying, because I don't have anything to hide, Mom. Listen, if I go behind bars as an innocent man, like God wants me there, so I'm gonna be there.
Again, if I go behind bars as an innocent man, because God wants me to be there. God wants me to be there. So again, he's playing semantics. Semantics. But if I go as an innocent man, that means God want me to. Why would God want an innocent man in jail? Why? He's playing semantics. And he already said that the day before. If anybody is in jail, they deserve to be there. That's what he said, even if they're innocent. He's just repeating what he said the day before.
I didn't do it. I didn't do anything. You understand? So whatever is going on here, like, I'll talk to you. I don't know what you guys want me to say, or I'm just telling you.
Okay, now you initially said you refused, but now what are you saying? Because it said you got to verbally say to talk to us. You said I'm gonna have to refuse.
Refuse
To talk.
Can I stop talking anytime?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I'll talk.
Okay.
Son, I'm accused.
You being accused, what I'm saying.
That's ridiculous. This is crazy.
Okay, thank you. Okay. So
Again, they themselves, right? They are trying to get homeboy to shut up. They're trying, you refuse, right? People think that they're getting him to use this as admissible. Anytime somebody got to keep saying the same thing to you over and over and over, it's up to you to understand what they're saying. They're saying to him to shut up, right? They're saying to him to shut up because they keep saying it over and over and over again, right? If I keep saying, well, they're even giving him a hint to shut up. But of course, the Nature Boy lovers, they're not trying to hear that. Again, Nature Boy did this to himself. Every time he said a little thing that was incriminating, they told him, like, you didn't want to speak to us, right? Remember, you said refuse, right? But people think they're tricking him. No, if you listen to how they're doing it, they're getting him to be quiet. They're letting him know you're going too far. You can stop. You're going too far. You can stop. You're going too far. You can stop. But Nature Boy chose not to, because he think he's going to play games with these people just by saying the word, I'm innocent, right? That's what he thinks. It's bad enough he incriminated Malaya, right? So he could have had Malaya thrown in jail because he says Malaya tears up his house. She's aggressive. She tears up his house. He didn't want her to tear up his house, so he let her go, which we already know that's not true because they already seen the video when you sent the girls out to attack her, right? So again, he does. I need somebody to send it to me. I don't know how to get it. Who has it, Marina? Marina, if you let me know who has it, I would definitely get a hold to it. Yes, play stupid games, win stupid prizes. Again, I'm going to let this play in full at the end, but we're taking a closer look at it now. That's what we're doing.
I'm crazy like great. What do you think? Okay, obviously you know this is because you're being accused of rape. Okay, what do you know about it? Who do you think did it? Whitney.
See, it. He did not know he was there for bait. He is the one who said, "I ain't bait nobody." Right? What would make him say that? Now the detective say you are here because you accused of bait. So this is the first time they said why he is there, right? So why would Nature Boy bring that up? Go call Keys and go call the rest of them so they can listen clearly, because they don't want to hear nothing. They don't hear how Nature Boy brought that up. Why you brought that up, Nature Boy? They didn't ask you. Now they say what you accused of. But you already said I didn't bait nobody. That would be sort of kind of guilty. And you sort of kind of brought that up. It wasn't no need to brought it up. Exactly. But I need for you guys to hear this so you can't say, oh, he was done wrong. The court system, the black man. No. Mm-mm. The courts people ain't listening to that no more. The court system is not listening to that. So he's trying to get these big people, these other big YouTubers, Twitters, Instagrammers. He's trying to get them to spin that narrative so he could have a bunch of people down there saying no, mm-mm, no, mm-mm. So let's carry on. Like I said, I'm breaking this down piece by piece so you can understand what the jury had to do as they made their choice. The jury had to do this, right? And again, now the detectives say accused of bait, but Nature Boy brought that up first. He brought up Malaya, he brought up the tapes, he brought up all this stuff. They didn't ask him, they didn't really ask him anything, right? Let's go. Oh, my girl. Thank you so much. That'll be later. That's my girl too. I'm glad she's back to doing videos. I really like her.
Who do you think it could have been?
Only something this woman that's trying to get me back for something, for probably not some of people or something. But literally, I wasn't rape anyone. I got all these women, those all my women. Why would I rape someone? I got like 5 women. Why would I rape a girl? I'm a ladies' man. I got like 5, 6 women. Why would I rape a girl? They come to me.
Why would anybody accuse you of that?
Because they mad at me. That's a lot of people that hate me around. I have a lot of trolls. She sent me a letter Sit with a court date, Jeanette,
Look for what?
for revenge porn.
I don't know anything about that.
Yeah, she sent me that letter.
So he said, I don't know nothing about that, right? So again, he's still running his mouth and he goes, he says her name, but he said, I don't know about that. So which means he ain't there for that, right? Yo, if I was a detective and I was a man, I'll go home and kiss my wife and say, I'm coming home early. This is the quickest and the easiest interrogation I had to do ever. I'll be home early for dinner tonight. Right? I will be home early for dinner tonight because this is too easy. Nature Nut, yeah.
I have the videotape, I got everything. We got everything ready for the files, ready to show that that's not true. But she knows it's not true. And we're spiritual people. So it's like, to me, it hurts me because I'm like, there's no harm. Like, why would, but then I think like maybe the universe just wants me to be supposed to be. And so I will surrender. But I'm being falsely accused, but you know what I'm saying?
So let's start with revenge porn. You saying you have some consent form or what?
No, I have a video showing how we did it. You know what I'm saying? Like, when she's in, like, she's like literally going through the spiritual journey. It's a
Now, Nature Nut again. Do you have a consent form? No. See, this is why he got charged with it. Y'all people don't listen. Y'all people don't listen at all. Did she give you consent? Did she have fill out a consent form? No. But I got a video showing you how we did it, right? Now, any normal person would have said verbal consent, right? But he didn't even say verbal consent, right? So at that point, he said no. Listen carefully. He says no. But and also at the he didn't tell his lawyer that neither. He never told his lawyer I have verbal consent. You know why he can't say he had verbal consent? Because verbally what came out her mouth was no, right? Verbally what came out her mouth is no. So he can't say he had verbal consent because we all heard that she said no, right? So this is how I'm not even a lawyer, but they're gonna eat this appeal all the way up. Let's carry on. We're not gonna play the whole thing because we got other things to show that's gonna tear his daggone case up. Show you how we did it. Showing you how you did it is not consent. It's just showing that you have an X tape, but that's not consent. So that's why he got hit with that charge. So we're gonna break, I'm gonna break it down. I'm gonna break it all the way down for you, right? So that's why that charge sticks. So FBI and Fufu can shut up. You can't say we did it because Nature Nut already said, did she sign a consent? Nature Nut said no. But I got a video to show you how he did it. It doesn't matter anymore. That means she didn't give you a consent. That means you has an X tape. So that's one charge. So that's one charge. You can't change this in the appeal. You cannot bring up new evidence. Nature Nut did not say not written consent, but oral consent. He didn't say that. He should have said that right then and there. If it was true that she gave consent, that's what Nature Boy would have said, but he did not. But hold on, we're going to have a break for a second. And we're going to hear a song because we coming.
Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, 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 yo, go, go, go. Hustle hard, hustle every single day. I'll be making moves till I'm buried in my grave. To the system, I don't wanna be a slave. I've been doing shit my way, or the highway. And in the driveway is a nice range. Cause I grind through the climb, I invite pain. You never hear me, bitch, nah, I don't complain. Just gotta flip the switch and you can go and obtain anything you want, anything you need. Your mind's got the key ingredient, it's belief. They'll see with the negativity, but I just slide right by that energy. Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, 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 go.
We hear ourselves how Nature Nut is messing all the way. Oh, goodness gracious. Messing all the way up. Now he's going to tell you he's over talking, but at this point, I already checked. She said no. If I'm listening, I already checked off. Direct question. Did she give, do you have a signed consent? No. Okay, check. Now he can get all into the sex class and all this stuff. I ain't got nothing to do with that no more until I ask you another question. So you could drag this out and explain all you want, but a direct question is a direct answer. You got consent, not written consent, but oral consent. See, this way y'all so stupid at y'all drone sisters, and he can't fix that at appeal because he can't fix that. He can't, because he's gonna have time to think about what he should have said. But he already said no. Dummies.
And so I have the whole footage, like literally, like, and when she left, she was mad, and she just flipped on me and said, "Really, one?" Because what happened was on my Twitter when she left. I thought she wouldn't believe. I was like, "Oh, fuck." So when she left, it was still on Twitter. So she said,
Again, did you have written consent? No. So when she left, she says revenge porn, right? Even if she was there when the video was gone, when it was put out, that don't matter neither. He still said he didn't have her consent. He said no. You hear the word? He likes saying that word no. And that word no gets him in a lot of trouble.
she didn't ask me, she didn't call and say, "Can you take that down?" Because we did that together, "Can you take that down?" She didn't do that.
She doesn't have to call you and ask you to take anything down because you didn't have consent to put it up. Why does she have to call you?
You end up pouring her and start making out without telling her what she's saying.
You're a smart girl. She got my name on her body. Literally, like everybody knows me or I think.
That's my girl. Here, they talk about the makeup. She got my name on her. Now, I don't have to bait my girl. She is my girl. But just got finished saying she was jealous because she couldn't have you, right? So.
And I tell them that because I love them and I protect them. She came to me like, it's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. And I just can't look at her.
Yeah, he talked his way to life. They kept trying to stop him, though. Lord knows they did. Lord knows they tried to stop this man. He was very consistent in getting life.
Saying that shit, that ain't nothing to play with. Don't even have to play with. I'm telling you, this is what she's accused of. What I'm saying to you is, that's not even nothing.
You heard that? This is what she accused you of. So bait was stated, right? Bait was stated because the cop specifically said this is what she accused you of. So they cannot say bait was never there. Yes, it was. Right? Hey, boss Jackie. Let's go.
There's a video. We've been born together. Bro, everybody in the world knows one. No break the team sex when she came to me. Like, it's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. And I just can't wait to look at her eyes and be like, bro, you really gonna put me in jail for it, right? I feel like, she claims that you wouldn't let her leave, and that you said that you were her property, and then
she explained to us you would not let us leave, and you are my property. Listen.
Oh, I was here. I was here. I protect him like that. I said, "You my property. I love you. Right? You my."
I said, "You are my property. I love you. I love you. You my property."
My property. I was telling them, I got my name on their butt. All my women, and I tell them that because I love them.
And I tell them that because I love them.
I protect them. Okay? So you my property. I love you, and that's to make them feel like okay.
Now, I have to keep stopping this because I gave an answer for the other charges. Direct question. This star, the star, it himself. Nature Boy told the whole confession himself. So if Nature Boy said it, he don't know how to shut up, right? When your lawyer gets stuff so
I'm straight. You got a file of evidence. I got a file. I have a whole file ready right now with evidence. Where is it? It's the guy's guy. You can call the guys that's ready to see right now. Is it on the laptops? No, it's on.
Hey, boo.
It's on my cell phone. On your cell phone? Yeah, I got it on my cell phone. I can open my cell phone right now and show you it. And what is it? Show me. It'll show you the edge. Like, I want to show you. Can I show you this?
Thank you.
Did your phone come with it? No, whatever. I don't know where my phone is at, and I don't know where none of my stuff is at. What I know is that I haven't.
It doesn't matter who agree or who disagree. Nature Boy told, as you hear, he told the story himself, right? So if he told the story himself, you cannot say the word making love, but she said this because this predates the interview. His confession predates the interview. He brought up the video. They didn't bring up Malaya. He brought up Malaya. And the detectives even heard him incriminating himself. My kids is in that place, and it ain't.
Videos. Did you tell her when you were going to post it?
No, we posted them right there. We posted them together. We were like happy about it. She's crying in the video, like, oh my God, this is so beautiful. Like in the video, you see it. Like, dude, we had sex. I don't have to rape her. We had twosome, threesomes, all like, bro, we do. It's what we do. It's what we do. We do sexual education. I have all that evidence. I have evidence of her just saying literally. She came to my house, but she's like, oh, he healed me. Some issues with prostitution. She's out there in the streets. So when she comes to me, I treat her like a lady. I say, you don't have to do that stuff. Like literally, you come to me, you're my woman, you're my life. You're not a prostitute. You're not able to do that. You should sell yourself for money. And she's crying and she has to go back to the streets. But then, like, I think that the dude that she was with, he probably told her to do it. I don't know what's going on, but I got the evidence, bro. I say it all my file. Because see, one thing I do is go live about everything. I'm on live all day, every day, because I know people trying to set me up. So I have everything documented. I think see their attention, so they can be like, so I be like, who else is this guy? And that's what
We want the internet now. We do how
Ay, ay, ay. Ay, ay, ay. Tell my direct question. Did you get my whole house up? Well, is that on video? Right, that's not on video. We never seen her tear your house up. We seen, but he thought he was going to cover his tracks for that. Right? Ay, ay, ay.
Google, I feel like I was gonna become side Google for black people, for like people possibly.
Yes and yes.
Everything is connected. I believe that you're God. I believe that the way I treat you is how. But all I'm getting is, no. You know, brother, this is what I'm telling you. You're part of what you do. Because there's gonna be haters. And that's not big. It's a lot of love though.
But don't you think it's kind of contradictory to be teaching love? You're saying teaching love and commanding people to smack each other?
No, because at the end of the day, it's just people want to look at it because we smack each other. And it's just how
AK.
To smack each other?
No, not ever. It's a joke. Like we're doing it.
I don't see that.
No, that's what I'm saying. Their perception of what we're doing is to get us response like people. That's the point. So that people start talking about me. And bro,
What video?
I have the video.
All right. Now we're going to go to the next video because I want y'all not to listen to what we hear. I want y'all to listen to what we're not hearing, right? Now, to back up what he says, to back up what Janae says, right? Nature Boy says the same exact thing Janae says, right? He said, I said no. I said I can't do this no more, which Nature Boy says she says, right? And then, holy shit. Woo. Now, to back up what Janae says, and Nature Boy backs that up. Now, here we go again. Let's go back into time because they're going to do all of this. We're going to save y'all some problems.
Her before she could leave. When she attempted to leave the night of that day, the defendant brought her to his room and proceeded to rape her. She talks about how she told him no multiple times, that she did not want to have sex with him, but that he proceeded to do so despite her saying no. Specifically, he told her that she was his property.
Check.
And that she could not leave.
Check.
The defendant then proceeded to rape her in the room. The victim disclosed to law enforcement how her body tensed up and she was not cooperating. And at that time, the defendant even physically had to turn her over to continue the acts of penetration.
Check.
At that point, she was crying and wanted to leave, but felt like she could not leave because she was fearful of the defendant and because of how manipulative he is.
Check.
They ended up going to sleep, and at the middle of the night into the early next morning, the victim was able to leave, and then she contacted law enforcement to tell them about what happened. When law enforcement receives this request, they then go to the house where this incident where the incident occurred. And when they go to the house, they encounter multiple individuals, approximately about 15 individuals. The reason they're going to the house is because when the victim came forward, she also tells the police that the defendant ended up posting sexually explicit videos of them engaging in sexual intercourse on social media as an act of revenge for her leaving the cult. And the kind of workings of the cult is important for the court to consider today because it does go to whether the defendant poses a significant risk to the community as well as to the victim. And what law enforcement has learned is that this defendant calls himself apparently God or three God. He refers to himself as the Messiah, and he's also known as Nature Boy on social media channels across different platforms. He refers to himself this way and orders other members of his cult or his followers to engage in physically abusive behavior. For instance, our victim who came forward stated on multiple occasions the defendant would order the women to slap her or hit her, and she was not the only one. He would also order other women to hit and abuse other women in the cult, as well as the men involved. Based on this, a lot of the members, including the victim, were fearful of the defendant, fearful to essentially leave or in any way defend themselves. She goes on to talk about kind of how he is manipulative over everyone involved and that the cult does travel. For instance, they've been to Costa Rica, Panama, and even Nicaragua, where they were apparently all kicked out for endangering and threatening the national security of those countries. They've also been to Puerto Rico and Hawaii. The defendant has an arrest from Hawaii and was forced to leave as well with the cult members. And in addition to the travel that this cult does under the leadership of the defendant or this so-called person that he refers to himself as God, we, the state, received an anonymous tip that the defendant did have one of his followers go to Mexico to essentially start setting up a place for him for that when he gets out in bond, that's potentially where he could go. While that was an anonymous tip, we did observe on social media one of his members in Mexico just recently, as a few days ago, confirming that he is in Mexico. And so I mentioned that to the court because it's all part of the cult's inner workings and how they operate and travel. The defendant was arrested for false imprisonment, rape, prohibition of nude or sexually explicit electronic transmissions, multiple counts, because he did post multiple videos of the victim and him engaging sexual intercourse on social media. And I will reiterate, she did not consent to those videos being posted on social media. He does have criminal history, and we'll go through each one of them. The first one being from July of 2006, a driving while license suspended charge. It was ultimately dismissed out of Monroe County, but the reason I bring it up is because he had a failure to appear on that charge. In February of 2012, he had a driving while license suspended out of Gwinnett County. In February of 2013, out of Rockdale County, he originally was arrested for an aggravated battery charge. It did get reduced to a battery, but it was a battery conviction. In January of 2016, he had an interference with custody and battery arrest. It did ultimately get dismissed, but I bring that to the court because of his previous battery conviction and then he being arrested for another battery offense. In June of 2020, he did have a conviction for violation of rules and orders out of Hawaii, which resulted in Hawaii requiring that the defendant and other members of his cult leave. In addition, what he currently has pending is a warrant for domestic violence charge and a temporary protective order out of Ohio. That is another location that he's been at. From what the state is aware, a former member of the cult who was also his wife at some point has a domestic case out of Ohio where she is the victim and the defendant is the perpetrator. They actually have a scheduled hearing for that May 16th. And so that is pending. I go through all that criminal history because not only do the facts show that the defendant is a danger or risk to the community, but also does his criminal history. He has a failure to appear. He has a prior violent conviction, and he has a current pending warrant for domestic violence out of Ohio. In addition, Your Honor, before I tell you about the other risk factors that the state's concerned if he's granted bond, I do want to read read a statement from the victim in this case. She is fearful if the defendant is given a bond, and so I think it is appropriate. Before I do that, there are a couple videos that I do want to show the court. And the reason I am showing the court these videos because it's to give context to what I am talking about. I will warn the court that some of the videos are offensive and explicit in language and assaultive conduct, but it's no more than 2 minutes, and it is important for the court to consider. So with the court's permission, may I play those?
Judge, I'm sorry, I can't hear you.
Let's see. Are you able to hear me now?
I can, Judge.
Okay, yes, and that would be granted. Permission is granted.
Thank you.
I guess this judge wrong too.
I try to share the video.
I guess this judge don't like him neither. This judge ain't like him neither, because this judge denied him too.
Your Honor, can you see this video? I'm about to hit play, but I want to make sure that you see a video.
Yes.
Okay.
Be grateful that you're here because we're very grateful. See the attitude on her face. That was a good one, so. That was a good one. Slap a bitch back to sense. Like, stop wasting our fucking time making this shit about you, huh? It's about me. Wrap my motherfucking legs and my toes and suck on my toes. Bitch, fuck you. And you can say it's abuse, but please leave. Can she please just leave me alone? And it's abuse, but she won't leave. It's because it's mind control. But bitch, it ain't that much mind control in the world. Bitch, you doing it to yourself at this point. And if a bitch smack me, I'm gone. If you let a bitch smack you, you deserve to get smacked.
That is the first video, Your Honor. I am going to pull up another video, and it'll be my last one. Are you able to see this second video that I pulled up, Your Honor?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
Oh, I got a pop.
Oh, fuck God, nigga. Fuck this phone, nigga. I made this phone, I made you, nigga. Ever disrespectful, nigga. Don't think for yourself. You too. Right, right? Right, right? Now, you're listening to shit, son. Fuck up. Yo, sorry, bro. Wait. Help him out. Call the cops. FBI. Fuck you, nigga. Even if you lock me up, nigga, guess what? I'm still, my spirit gonna live. So let's see what I'm telling you. Don't say shit. You know what I'm saying? It don't matter. You can fuck with you, white boy, you can never stop me. I'm God, I'm no nightmare, nigga. I'm God. The black man is God. Feel my motherfucker.
And Your Honor, the state plays those videos because it goes to show the power and control that the defendant has over the individuals that has been part of this cult and this intimidation and manipulation that he does with his members. It is a significant risk to the community. What's important also for the court to consider is that the defendant had followers of him record him while he was in the jail on a phone call and upload it to social media. In those calls that were uploaded to social media, he specifically tells one of his members to go and talk to the victim in this case. And he says specifically, you need to make noise. This is an example, a textbook example of someone who is trying to intimidate a witness and intimidate a victim from continuing to come forward or pursue charges. What's also important to note from that video I played, he says, even if you lock me up, my spirit is going to live. And I think that is evidenced by all of this video evidence that's showing on social media. He is getting in contact with his followers, instructing his followers to essentially do things on his behalf from inside the jail. Can you only imagine if he is granted bond and back out into society, what he can do? I'm definitely concerned for the victim and her safety. And so I'm going to read her statement to give some context to that, Your Honor. But she does state, I am fully willing to testify in this case, even though I am nervous about testifying. I'm asking that you please do not grant the defendant bond. Can you please issue an order ordering him that he have no contact with me whatsoever? He is a danger to the community. He has abused many of the members of his cult mentally, physically, and emotionally. He's ordered people to abuse one another physically for his enjoyment and pleasure. I've watched him whip a girl with a leather belt multiple times for 15 minutes straight, ordering her to kiss our feet while whipping her. He didn't stop hitting her until he felt like it and until she cried in submission. He even smiled while abusing her, quoting, "This is starting to feel good." He prevented me from leaving his home that night I wanted to go. He took me into another room after mentally abusing me for up to 2 hours and after ordering the women in his home to abuse me. He proceeded to have sex with me when I told him I did not want to have sex with him multiple times. He has done this with me on multiple occasions and have taken advantage of not only me, but a multitude of women who have come to him. He has no respect for the women that comes into his life and even has devalued, degraded, and humiliated them on multiple social platforms online. He's openly told the members of the cult to reach out to me to try to persuade me to drop the charges. I'm afraid of the power and control he has over his cult members, and I believe he cannot be in contact with any of them so that they can start to carry on with their own lives. He has slapped and abused men in his cult as well. He's been physically abusive to the wives to the point that one of them lost feeling in her hands after being slapped by him. If he were to be released on bond, I would not feel safe at all, nor do I feel the people who were living with him would be safe. Please do not grant him a bond in the interest of justice, the safety of our community, and for the safety of other victims who have and may never come forward. I am asking that you please decline this bond. So that's from the victim, Your Honor. I will go through just the 4 factors briefly as to why I believe that this defendant is a significant risk and that in looking at all 4 factors, he should not be granted bond. For instance, he is a risk of failing to appear or flee the jurisdiction. As I stated before, received that anonymous tip about followers setting up a place for him in Mexico if he was granted bond. And we were able to confirm on social media that one of his followers is in Mexico. In addition, as I stated, he's been to Costa Rica, Nicaragua, Panama, Hawaii, Puerto Rico, has a pending charge out of Ohio, had an arrest conviction from Hawaii, and apparently was kicked out of all the other 3 countries for security measures. He also has that previous failure to appear on that driving while license suspended that I mentioned before. He's a risk to the persons and the property of the community, his followers, as evidenced by some of the videos I showed to you and the other videos that are uploaded on his social media pages. Will do anything that he says. He's proven to be a manipulator and someone who has power and control over the followers in his cult. If he is granted bond, there is no idea what he will order his followers to do, especially since we have evidence that he's instructing his followers to contact the victim straight from jail. He's a significant risk of committing another felony, as evidenced by his history. He does have some violent history with a battery conviction and a pending domestic violence charge. But in addition, the evidence that we've shown to the court of the assaultive nature that he requires his members to take part of, if he was released on bond, then there's a significant risk that he would commit another felony or someone will on his behalf. I also will mention that there was another video on social media where he openly admits and states that he allowed one of his sons to touch his genitalia and play with it. And so there's also that concern for the children in the community. In his social media videos, he's also repeatedly said that he's above the law. He is God. He is nature. And so this individual who sees himself in this light believes that no one else can control him. He is the ultimate being, and he is the only one in control of anything. No laws that the court puts or no conditions that the court would put on any type of bond would ensure the safety of others or the community. And what's also most important for the court to consider is that he's a significant risk of intimidating the witnesses or the victim in this case. Specifically, he has been violent with her, he's been violent with other individuals, and he did tell her that if he wanted to, he could kill her. And as I stated to the court, he has instructed his followers to reach out to her. Your Honor, in looking at all four of these factors, there is no way that this court can grant the defendant bond. I understand that the defense will argue that he is alleged to commit these acts and that he is innocent of these offenses. But even outside of that, even outside of what he is part of in this cult and his actions as far as his criminal history and what he does in these videos and what people have come forward, he is a significant risk to the community and therefore bond should not be granted.
Thank you, counsel. Defense?
Thank you, Your Honor. The alleged facts in this case, they grab your attention, Judge. I might even call them shocking, but what I am going to ask that the court does here is see past those allegations because Mr. Bishop does remain cloaked in the presumption of innocence, as the court is aware. And instead, I ask that the court laser focus on the Ayala factors and consider granting Mr. Bishop a bond. Mr. Bishop is originally from New York City, Judge. He moved to Atlanta about 20 years ago. He's been based in Atlanta ever since then, even though he has done some traveling, as the state spoke about.
Booker should have saw this. Booker should have saw it. Oh my gosh. Booker should have saw this. Booker should have saw how scared that man was. Booker should have saw all colors of red. He went from pink to red. Booker, you should have known if that man had one little paper, he tried to figure out how am I going to stretch the barbershop and he got kids. How am I going to stretch this until he need to go home? He don't, this lawyer don't even know what to do at a bond. What you going to do, Booker? Why you didn't watch this, man? And I know you saw the other ones, but you didn't see that man turn all colors. What you thought? What you thought, Booker?
Atlanta is where Mr. Bishop hangs his hat. Mr. Bishop just turned 40 in the jail on April 29th. He did spend some time in the Army, Judge, before being medically discharged in the 2000s. After being discharged, he did get his high school diploma through Job Corps. Mr. Bishop has always been gainfully employed. He got his barber's license after getting his high school diploma. He opened a barber shop in 2013. It's called Bishop's HD Cuts. He sold that business in 2015, Judge, but it's still local, still being run, although no longer by Mr. Bishop.
Duh.
Mr. Bishop does have a stable address in Decatur, Georgia. He's currently 1 year into a 2-year lease, Judge.
Nope.
That's where the warrants in this case were executed.
Nope.
At that apartment complex in Decatur.
Nope.
And that's where he would plan to continue to stay when and if he's able to bond out of DeKalb County Jail. Your Honor, Mr. Bishop is suffering from extreme dental issues in jail. He has a tooth that is decayed down to the root that's causing him extreme pain. He has sought medical care for that situation, and all that he's been able to get for a response is that there's currently a long waiting list at the jail.
My teeth.
To be seen for that sort of issue, Judge. I understand that the state does have concerns about Mr. Bishop being flight risk. In order to allay those fears, the defense has no objection to house arrest being a condition of bond. We would not object to an ankle monitor.
Nope, he still can make a phone
call. Of course, we would ask that the court allow Mr. Bishop to leave his house in Decatur to meet with his attorneys for medical care. For anything else,
he flipping that paper. He keep flipping that paper. He don't know what to say. He flipping that paper around and around and around and around, round and around and around and around.
absolutely vital, Judge. Mr. Bishop does have significant support here. I believe his friend Aaron Dixon. Mr. Dixon, are you on the call? Might not be.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm here.
Yes. This is Mr. Aaron Dixon, Judge. He is a friend of Mr. Bishop. He's here to show his support for Mr. Bishop. So in light of Mr. Bishop's significant ties to the area, in light of the fact that he has been a productive member of society and that he has opened a successful business, sold it, in light of the medical issues that Mr. Bishop is currently dealing with in the DeKalb County Jail, we would ask that the court grant a bond in the amount of $50,000. As I mentioned, we would have no objection to house arrest, to a stay-away order from the alleged victim in this case. And again, I just would like to reiterate that we would ask the court to see past the allegations in this case, because that's what they are at this point, they're allegations, and instead focus on the Ayala factors, which we think weigh in favor of granting Mr. Bishop a $50,000 bond, Judge.
Judge, I'm sorry, I'm having trouble hearing you. And the person named Nisi, Nissei, if you could please mute yourself. Thank you.
Okay, are you able to hear me now, Ms. Honeycutt?
I am, Judge. Thank you.
I apologize. My voice tends to waver at times. Having heard argument from counsel, the motion for bond is going to be denied. I do find the defendant to be a danger to the community, a risk to intimidating the victim. There's also a risk of flight, and also the risk of committing an additional felony. So therefore, bond will be denied. That will conclude his hearing.
An additional felony. You heard that? An additional felony. They didn't even get him on that. An additional. Bond denied.
Thank you, Your Honor, and that concludes my business before you this.
A risk to intimidating the victim. There's also a risk of flight, and also the risk.
I'm sorry, I'm having trouble hearing you. And the person named Nisi, Nissei, if you could please mute yourself. Thank you.
Okay, are you able to hear me now, Ms. Honeycutt?
I am, Judge. Thank you.
I apologize. My voice tends to waver at times. Having heard argument from counsel, the motion for bond is going to be denied. I do find the defendant to be a danger to the community, a risk to intimidating the victim. There's also a risk of flight, and also the risk of committing an additional felony. So therefore, bond will be denied. That will conclude his hearing.
Thank you, Your Honor, and that concludes my business before you this morning. May I be excused?
Yes, you may.
Thank you.
Our next.
Building your online business? Go to Wix.com and set up your store on a single integrated platform. Add products, showcase them dynamically, and seamlessly track your inventory. Accept multiple secure payments. And design your storefront down to the very last detail. Get all the tools you need. Drive more sales with customizable gift cards and flexible product subscriptions. Retain customers with a point-based loyalty program, email automations, and reach millions with sales channel integrations. Complete your setup with a personalized analytics dashboard. Make smart business decisions and shape the next phase of your business. Build, manage.
Now, hey, lollipoppins. No. This, I'm just going back to what the girls are saying about this appeal. So I'm just going back, Miss Lolly. We're just going back a little bit. That's all we're doing now. Let's go back here. And I'm going to fast forward it a little bit. And then we're going to talk about it, right?
And so you would think that you're getting to this meeting and you have facts to like bring up why what you're saying is, a valid argument, but he would always dominate the conversation. And then you would end up basically just giving in like, fine, you're right. Or everyone else being like, yeah, we agree with him, you're wrong. And then towards my last years being there, like the last kind of months being there, actually, it was just like, if you anything you did to disagree with him, you would just get slapped, you would just be physically harmed, you sometimes jumped, it just, yeah.
And just so we can set up the timeline, when did you ultimately cut ties with?
In April of 2022, after Mr. Bishop's arrest.
So the time period where you're saying the last few months before you left, would that have been early 2022?
Yes.
What did members of the group call Mr. Bishop?
In the beginning, when I first got there, we called him Master Teacher. Then he wanted to be called Father to Hootie. Then he wanted to be called Chief. Then he wanted us to call him our Lord and Savior. And then Babaji. And then eventually he wanted us to call him, the women, he wanted us to call him Poppy. Or God. Everyone had to either call him God or Three God by the end.
And safe to say that his title sort of evolved over time?
Yes.
How did the defendant refer to the rest of the outside world?
The outside world was hell. It was Babylon. It was everyone outside of the cult was in their lower self. So they were like an unevolved, person, somebody that didn't have knowledge of self.
And how did Mr. Bishop look at folks communicating?
I need to go out in the street.
Hey, Angela.
I'm not your permanent basis, and I need to go out in the street.
Originally, like for me personally, he told me not to tell my family I was leaving home because he said they wouldn't understand. Don't tell your right hand what your left hand is about to do. They're going to try to talk you out of it. So when I got there, before I left, I ended up blocking all of my family members' numbers. And when I got there, my family was obviously worried and stuff like that. So I told them, ended up calling them and telling them where I was. But out of my 5 years, 4.5 years of being there, I only talked to my mom a handful of times. I only talked to other family members a handful of times. He really didn't like us talking to outside people. He thought it was just like those people don't understand us. They don't know who we are. They're gonna put things in your ear. They're gonna try to convince you to go back to your lower self. And we really could only talk to family members who were like supplying us with money or some type of resource. That was like the only time he even wanted us to reach out. Like, reach out to your people because we need money right now, but not just to like communicate with them.
And in your time that you were there, did you see other members of the group leave the group during that time?
Yes.
And how would Mr. Bishop respond to the fact that folks were leaving?
People trying to leave the group was like, it was always just like this big drawn out thing. Hours and hours of sitting there going back and forth with the person about why they're doing something wrong, opening the Bible up and showing them these Bible verses that prove that they're going back to their lower self, putting something else before the kingdom of God, putting their family or their kids or anybody before the kingdom of heaven. So they're gonna end up in hell. And at the end of their life cycle, when they die, they're gonna have committed the biggest sin, which is to go against the Christ, to go against, the Most High. And at some points, it was like people were jumped. People were physically harmed for trying to leave, for just saying they wanted to leave. A lot of people left in the middle of the night because it wasn't really safe to tell somebody that you wanted to leave.
Your Honor, at this point, I think the limiting instruction that I provided would be appropriate.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I need to read you some more information. I remind you that sometimes evidence is admitted for a limited purpose or for some counts and not others. Such evidence may be considered by the jury for the sole issue or purpose and only for the counts for which the evidence is limited and not for any other purpose. In order to prove its case in count 1, rape, the state has offered evidence of other offenses of sexual assault allegedly committed by the accused. You are permitted to consider that evidence for its bearing on any matter to which you find it to be relevant. The defendant is on trial for the offenses charged in this bill of indictment only and not for any other acts, even though such acts may incidentally be criminal. Before you may consider any other alleged acts, you must first determine whether the accused committed the other alleged acts and whether such acts were in fact acts of sexual assault. If so, you must then determine whether the act shed any light on the elements of the crimes charged in the indictment in this trial. Such evidence is, at most, supporting evidence of some issues and may not by itself be the basis of conviction for the case on trial. By giving this instruction, the court in no way suggests to you that the defendant has or has not committed any other acts, nor whether such acts, if committed, prove anything. This is solely a matter for your determination. Go ahead.
During the time you're in the group, did anything happen that made you believe that the defendant had developed a sexual interest in you?
Yes.
I was just gonna say, about how long after you got there did that happen?
I would say it was a few weeks, maybe a month, where I heard him say that when he found out I was a virgin, he had asked the universe for a virgin, and he implied that, like, he told me that he could open me up.
And was that in Belize at that point?
We were traveling actually, like through Mexico, so we were like in the car.
And did you share his interest in a sexual relationship?
No.
And did you express
Why is filing your taxes with Free Tax USA different?
Well, for starters, our premium federal tax returns are free for everyone, no matter what. With a free offer like this, people often ask, so how do you make money? While our federal return is always free, we make money from
Whether or not you wanted to start or act on his interest in you?
Yes.
When did that happen?
When we were in Belize, he's like me and his wife, or the woman that he was with at the time, Velvet. We got close. We were friends, and he invited us. Well, he invited me into the tent with them both one night to watch a movie. And I was laying next to her, and he was laying next to her on the other side. And he, like in the middle of the movie, sometime during the movie, he was just told us like he wanted to break my virginity.
And how did you respond?
I don't remember saying anything. I just remember being scared. And he told her that he wanted her to be there and to hold my hand. And I remember her just like being upset and saying she didn't want to do it, and him yelling and saying, "You're gonna do it." And then he turned on music and he broke my virginity.
And were you all like in a city or in the forest, or like where were you?
We were kind of like in a small town in Belize, but we had a house, but we slept in tents.
And in that moment, like, what were you like? Were you in that moment, like, did you feel like you had options?
No, like he was my higher self. So it's like whatever he wanted from me, whatever he wanted me to do, it's just, I just did.
And how long had you been away from home by that point?
It has to at least be, it probably was almost 6 months.
And were there other instances of sexual contact between you and the defendant?
After that, yes.
And I guess, did you feel like did you ever develop a romantic relationship with the defendant?
I wouldn't even call it a romantic relationship.
How would you describe it?
It was like he wanted to have sex with me when he wanted to have sex with me. And he would just say, like, I'm really attracted to you right now. I think I'm supposed to give you something, like, because he believed that his sperm or his, like, he believed that his sperm had higher knowledge in it. It was like if you were to swallow it or if you were to take it in, he believed that it would make you smarter, it would make you more enlightened.
I'm going to fast forward this a little bit. Y'all can always go back to watch the original video, but I want y'all to hear something.
This is the downloads we were talking about.
I want y'all to hear what you don't hear. We got the Cry Nation up in here. What's up?
So we're gonna, not the time where he was making moves and doing her like, you're not supposed to be doing that. And that like expressed like she doesn't want to be here anymore. She wants to leave. And that's when it started to get like what's that, like verbally abusive.
Hold on. Let me say hello to Cry Nation. Let me say hello to Miami. What is up, Cry Nation? You need some tissues? You need some tissues? Do you need some tissue? Let's send some tissues. Miami, send your homeboy some tissue. You said add 10 more years? Add 10 more years. We're gonna send them something. We're gonna send Cry Nation. I just want to say hello to my Cry Nation people saying who he don't deserve it. Don't forget to send them some tissue. Send them some tissue so they for their crying self. But I'm fast forwarding this because we basically seen this. I just want you guys to hear what you don't hear, right? Being that they tell me, oh, we got to appeal, we got to appeal, we got to appeal, right? Because see, once they get the appeal, baby, they're gonna play. They ain't playing with. They're not playing with y'all no more. They're not playing with y'all no more.
Because, excuse me. Because, yeah, expressing that you want to leave is just like, no. But he was like, he would say like, go pack your bags, like, get out of here. But everybody is like harassing her, like, you're about to go back to your lower self. You giving up on your journey. You're giving up on yourself. All these things, and we're following her around the house, and she's gathering her things and trying to pack up her things, and people are putting a camera in her face, like, look at her, she's leaving, she's gonna go back to just being a regular Babylonian, she's gonna go, and we're just like harassing her.
And at this point, like, you're participating in that as well.
Yes, and I'm telling her like, oh, you're weak. Like, you can't even stay here and just take it. Like, you're weak. You're gonna go back to your lower self. And she starts trying to pack as much stuff as she can, but she decided like she's gonna leave her clothes. Because we start saying, you're gonna take everything back that you brought. Oh, look at you. That's the type of person that you are. Really just getting to her. And
Listen to Sheba explain what happened. Right now, don't forget them. All three of them said they packed her stuff. Hopefully, they remember all their perjury. Right? Hopefully, all of them remember she had 2 bags, but all of them helped her carry 2 little bags outside. Hopefully, they remember that when they go to remember they're gonna replay them tapes. Right? Mm-hmm.
she gathers her suitcase up and takes it downstairs. And as she's putting on her shoes on the stairs, that's when Eligio starts talking to her, and he's like, see, what you're about to do is, you know what you're about to do. You're going to end up coming back anyway. You might as well stay, because you're just going to go, what you're going to do, go to your grandmother's house, and then you're going to be upset and realize that you made a mistake going back to hell. Like, just going in on her while she's tying her shoes. You might as well not leave, because you know you're going to be right back. She ends up going out the door. Her Uber's outside. She takes her suitcase out to the Uber, and as soon as she gets to the
She takes her suitcase out to the Uber. They didn't say eeny, meeny, and miny, as in them guys bought the suitcase out.
door of the Uber is when I remember someone telling her, like, he wants to talk to you. And then she leaves. I remember her leaving her suitcase outside and coming back in the door and going up the stairs where he was to his room. And then I remember him coming out of his room and taking her into the other third bedroom.
Listen carefully. Did you hear that? Did you hear that? Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And as soon as she gets to the door of the Uber is when I remember someone telling her, like, he wants to talk to you. And then she leaves. I remember her leaving her suitcase outside and coming back in the door and going up the stairs where he was to his room. And then I remember him coming out of his room and taking her into the other third bedroom. Door closed. And then
When you say taking her in there,
and the door closed. The door closed. Let's go.
Leading her, they just walked in.
Yeah, leading her. It was leading her.
And were you upstairs at all while they were up in that
Listen.
room?
No, I wasn't. Well, I was, but not when I saw them going into the room. I was downstairs. But while they had been in there, yeah, I thought I was upstairs in the other room.
And did you like hear anything going on in that room, or arguing, a struggle, anything happening that night?
I didn't hear that. No.
Okay. During your time in the group, I think we know we're on social media a lot. Like when you were in Carbonation, was the group present on social media?
Oh, yes, every day.
Yeah. And did you participate in some or all of those videos?
Yes.
And did anything get posted, to your knowledge, did anything get posted on Mr. Bishop's accounts without him being behind it?
No. In fact, everyone's page had to almost be identical to his. And he would say, like, this is what we're posting today. So you guys are all gonna post this, and yeah, he was always in control of what was being posted.
And while you were in the group, and even after Mr. Bishop was arrested, did you say positive things online about Mr. Bishop and the group?
Yes.
And today, as you sit here, do you feel like your views in those videos or interviews accurately reflect what happened in the group?
No, I don't. I feel that I was trying to protect him and his image, and just our image as what I thought was just like, we're Carbonation. We're this, this group of people who just are like-minded and we want to do something different. And so I was trying to protect that whole image, not really looking at the facts of the matter.
If I could have just a second here.
Sure.
What do y'all think of the
When did
testimony?
you leave Carbonation? I think you already said, but just so we can end with that.
It was April of 2022.
That's all the questions I have at this point.
Right. Cross.
Yeah. How are you doing?
Good. How are you?
All right, Robert Booker, we've met before.
Yes.
All right, just a couple questions for you. So going back
Hey,
in
y'all.
December of 2017.
I got my
that's when you
thing,
first
Miss
went to the
Leo.
group, is
Love
that
it.
correct?
Thank you.
Okay, and I believe from your testimony before, you had mentioned that you were living in somewhere up in north of the United States, Michigan or somewhere like that? Seattle, Washington. That's exactly right. And you had just graduated college.
He be getting
Is that
out
correct?
wrong on purpose.
I was in school.
You were in college.
Pursuing degree.
Okay. All right. And so you came across this group online. You were pursuing some sort of natural lifestyle, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
And so you came across it online. They fit what you were seeing. And so you ended up leaving school, getting on a plane and going down to, I believe, Mexico, correct?
So no, I was interested in the lifestyle, but I left Seattle.
We're gonna skip past him for. We're gonna skip past a little bit of this because this is not what I'm talking about.
Unless if they got his permission.
Okay.
To be with that female, then yes.
All right. And when they were with that female, were they with that person on a full-time basis where they would sleep in the same tent or room with them? Or did they sleep
If
separate?
that's what Livio wanted.
Okay.
A lot of times we would sleep as a community.
Okay.
Yeah.
So everybody
all
just,
sleep in the same room. Yes.
everybody on the floor in the same room?
Yes.
Okay. And that was when you guys were in Texas and various other places, kind of the same
Yes.
rules?
Yes.
Okay. And the life that you guys were living at that time, it was for the world basically to see. People were in the lifestyle that was being lived, right?
What we were doing, a lot of people saw it online. Yes.
Okay. It was recorded and produced almost like every day, right?
A lot of it, yes.
Okay. And was it content that was produced that you said stuff in, Mr. Bishop said stuff in, kind of everybody did, right?
Yeah, I would say majority of the group were involved in the videos, like were present in the videos.
Okay. But Mr. Bishop, the underlying meaning behind the videos, Mr. Bishop was the person who pushed that forward. Is that fair to say? Okay. And what kind of video was going to be made? Did he come up with how it was going to be made, or things like that?
He would come up with who's going live today, like who's getting on video today, what they're going to talk about. He would stand behind the camera, and if we said anything that he didn't like, he would gesture to us, or he would gesture to us what we should say or what would sound good and how we should say all that.
Was the script?
Not verbatim, like scripted, but we had a jargon, like we had a language that we spoke in.
Okay.
Yeah, and a lot of times things were repeated so much we had the answer for anything because we were saying the same response to.
Okay. All right. Was everything that you guys were saying, was it true?
What do you mean? Was it true?
Was the image that you were portraying to the world, was it a true image? Or were you guys portraying some fiction?
We were not portraying what was truly going on, like all the time. Some of the things that were recorded were true. Some of the things weren't. Like how we would say, "Oh, we're out here growing our own food, having this community lifestyle where everybody's happy and everybody's growing and prospering." That wasn't the truth. Behind the cameras, there was a lot of things going on that weren't fitting that image.
Okay.
And then things like where we would put out, where you would put out these things where he would say, "I'm God, and these are my servants. These are the people that I'm out here humiliating." Yes, okay, but that was actually the truth, what was going on.
Okay.
But it depends on the video.
Okay. All right. Did the videos differ over time like you just mentioned, where he would have a video to say he was God or whatever he said? Was that something that he did for the entire time that you were around him?
It's interesting because when I first found him online, he wasn't saying that.
Exactly, Angela.
Everybody's living in my mind. This is my world. He wasn't saying that. He was saying that each person was God's creation. Each being is God's creation, and we are all here to honor God's creation. So he would say, like, "You're God, I'm God. The bees, the trees are God. The animals are God. All those things are pieces of God." But towards the end of my being there, it was like he's God and everybody else is living in his imagination.
Okay. And that was more toward 2021, 2022 timeframe?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Now,
here we go.
You indicated that, I'm going to jump forward to March.
Here we go.
24th, 2022. You guys were living in a house here in Atlanta at that time, correct?
2020.
22?
2022, yes.
Yeah, that's what we're here for, March 24th, 2022. So, and you were staying at the house at that time as well?
Yes, I was.
Okay. And was living there as well?
3,
okay.
6.
And do you know if
3.
was in a relationship with anybody at that time?
2.
At the time of her staying at the house in Harbor Chase,
yes.
She was with one other guy in the group at that time. Like within that time frame of us being in that house.
Was his name Solar?
Yes.
Duh.
And so
even
was Solar with someone else also?
He had a relationship with Zoka at one point.
Okay, so he had a relationship with Zoka and with
different times. Sometimes, one time it was at the same time.
Okay. Yeah. Was that things when they would have something like the one time at the same time? Was that something that was known throughout the house? Was that like just
polygamy or having multiple wives?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Okay. Was the sexual act just done in public also?
The sexual act done in public also. What do you mean?
Well, you just said that he was with. What did you mean that Solar was with Zoka and Janae at the same time, as in he was dating both of them at the same time?
No.
He was having a sexual act with both of them at the same time.
Oh, well, I don't know what they did sexually, but they were in a relationship at the same time.
So he would have a polygamous relationship where he would be with Zoka. And
she said she don't know.
Okay. All right. And so when people were in a relationship like that, would they live within the house in the same area? So if Zoka and Solar and they were together, would they all sleep together on the first floor, second floor, somewhere in the house?
Yes, yes. Everybody, no one really had their own space. So it was always like but as far as like their little corner that they had at one point to sleep in with them three, they would sleep together.
Okay. Now, when Mr. Bishop would talk on the videos, did he use a more normal tone of voice, or was it a very slow and deliberate and dramatic tone of voice when he would be on the videos?
He would change. I don't think it was all the time the same thing. Sometimes he would get on video and he would have this sweet personality of this charming guy that you can relate to and you can understand. Sometimes he would get on camera and he would be the teacher or the professor or the therapist, or sometimes he would get on there and he would just be yelling and angry and cursing and things like that. And that's how he was. Okay.
All right. And so there will be a wide variety of Elijah Bishop on video.
How he don't know his own client name?
Okay. Now, March 24th, 2022, you watched, I think you said Zoka hit in the face, slap her, correct? Yes. Okay. And this was during a time that you guys were sitting around Mr. Bishop's desk and he was pontificating about something. Yes. Is that fair to say? He was upset with.
Yes.
Okay. And upset with him?
No, she was more of just like upset and like not getting her point across, like trying to tell her side of the story.
Okay. Okay. And so ultimately she gets her bag, she's about to pack and get out there. Yes. Right? The bags were outside in the shed, she gets her bags and she's getting ready to leave. Okay, yes. Is that right? You witnessed that?
Ready to leave. Yes.
Okay.
She's getting ready to leave.
Okay. And so that would have been obvious to everybody since she has bags that she's leaving, right?
Yes.
And so you guys are you and the other women are following her around with your phones and your cameras, and you're kind of agitating her, provoking her, right?
And women, yes, everyone was.
Okay. Telling her that, if you leave us, that you're going back to the regular world, basically, right?
Yes.
Okay. And so, but she says, I'm leaving anyway, right?
Yeah, she wasn't really saying anything, but she was just kind of keeping her head down and trying to get out of there. But,
okay. All right. And so she is able to call an Uber and get all that set up, and the Uber is outside and she's headed out to leave, right?
Yes, she was able to get an Uber through all that. Yeah.
Okay. While all this was going on and she was packing the bags and waiting on Uber, was anybody hitting her or hurting her during that time frame that you saw?
Not hitting her, but yes, being verbally hurtful, yes.
People were saying mean things to her.
A lot of mean things.
Okay. But she was being bold and strong. She's leaving anyway.
She wasn't being bold and strong, but she was leaving, yes.
Okay. She seemed fearful.
I think she was very fear.
Okay. Okay. Did you hear Mr. Bishop say mean things to her?
Yes.
Okay. So everybody was.
Yes.
They were kind of discouraging her from leaving, right?
Yes.
This was, we want you to stay, but we're not going to say nice things to make you stay. We're going to say mean things to make you stay because.
Yes, because we want you to know that leaving is going to be a mistake.
Right.
Yes.
And so it was to discourage her from leaving.
Yes.
Okay. Were there any physical threats made to her though? Like, we'll bleep you up or kick you?
Yes. Yeah. Like, if you leave and come back, once you come back, you know what's going to happen.
Okay.
If you try to come back, you're going to get beat up.
So that really wasn't a reason if you left and you were fortunate enough to leave if you came back, because you get beat up if you came back, right?
Can you repeat your question?
Yes, ma'am. There wasn't if you left and came back, there was a threat if you came back, so it really wasn't a reason to come back, right? If you needed
a reason to come back.
There was a reason to come back.
Absolutely.
Okay.
A lot of people left and came back, and the reason to come back is that you would think that the only way to really save your soul is to be in this man's life, is to confess that he's your Lord and Savior and your Messiah.
Okay.
Because at the end of your life, if you made the wrong decision to be out here in the world amongst people who don't know that and don't realize that, you would end up being condemned to hell.
So you being in hell or Babylon, as has been described. if you were not involved in his life.
Yes.
Okay. So people would come back and they would risk coming back and the physical harm just because of that draw.
Absolutely.
Okay. And so people would leave and come back during that time frame. A lot.
People would leave. People let me come back. Came back a lot.
Okay. Men and women.
I'm sorry.
Men and women.
Yes, men and women.
Okay. All right. So she's leaving. She's packed up. Has she ever left before that you've seen in that time frame?
Not during this time frame, but before. Yeah. Yeah, it was a room for the girls, or just it was originally he made it up to be his kids' room, so it was bunk beds in there.
Okay.
But you know.
Were there kids there?
Yes, my son was there.
Okay. How old was your son then?
My son at the time, he was almost 3 years old, so he's 2.
Okay. And who was the father of your son?
Aaron.
Aaron?
Mhm.
Okay. True, the person named True or Ace. That's correct?
Yes.
Okay. All right. That was your boyfriend at the time.
He's my husband at the time.
He's your husband at the time.
Yes, we got married in 2020.
In 2020. Are you guys still married?
Yes, we are.
All right. Now, you had a kid there with True or Ace. And so, Mr. Bishop, you see him, you told the state that he led her in the room. Did you see him physically push her in the room or do anything to touch her, to make her go into the room against her will?
I can't remember exactly. So I'm not going to say that, yeah, because I'm not 100% sure.
Okay. So you can't say if he forced her to go in the room or not?
I can't say it.
Okay. You didn't hear him hit her or anything like that to make her go in the room?
No.
You didn't hear any physical struggle, or let me rephrase that, witness a physical struggle between them as they went into the room, did you?
No.
Okay. And so when they go in the room, is the door closed?
Yes.
Okay. Do you know if he went into the room first or if she went into the room first?
I don't know.
All right. You really were not paying attention, maybe?
No, I remember seeing them in the hallway going to the 3rd bedroom.
Mhm.
And I remember her like still being having that like upset look on her face. And I remember him walking towards there with her, but I can't remember exactly like if he was touching her or not. Like it was almost 2 years ago. I just can't remember exactly.
Were you on the 2nd floor when they were up there?
No, I was on the 1st floor looking up.
Okay. And so once they go inside, do you hear anything else, any screaming or physical roughness upstairs, any noises you can hear?
No.
Anything that would lead you to believe someone's fighting or anything upstairs?
No.
Any yelling or anything that would leave people arguing upstairs at all?
I didn't hear that.
Okay. And so after that, then do you guys continue a party? Do you go to sleep? Do you clean up? What do you do after you see her go in the room?
So I was with the other women. We were in his bedroom. I remember we were on the phone with someone. We were just talking and stuff like that. And then I remember shortly after, like just being in the room for a while, and then Alicia walking in the bedroom, and then after him, she came in wearing a different dress. Her hair was wet, like she had taken a shower. And she just sat on the floor, her head down.
So she came in the bedroom that the rest of the girls were in, which was Mr. Bishop's bedroom?
Yes.
Okay. And you said she was wearing a different dress or a different shirt?
A different dress, like whatever she had on when she was leaving, she changed. She was wearing one of like our communal dresses, like the dresses, because all the women share clothes.
Okay.
So she was wearing one of the dresses.
Were dresses a normal thing, or was it pants and shirts, or just
for women, dresses were.
Dresses what women would normally wear. Okay. So the dress. So is your opinion that she had a dress on when she was leaving, and when she came back, she had on she went in the room with one dress on, came back out with a different dress?
She was wearing street clothes when she was gonna be leaving. So she had on pants and a top, or she had on pants.
Okay.
But when she came into the bedroom after she had on a dress.
Okay. And you said her hair was wet as if she had taken a shower or something.
Yes.
Okay. Was that right after Mr. Bishop came in or at the same time? Did they come in together?
It wasn't right after. It was like minutes after that. I would be able to tell you.
Okay.
But it wasn't like he walked in, she walked in after him.
Okay. Did they communicate when they were in the room?
No. I think no.
Okay. Did she communicate with you guys at all?
I went up to her.
Okay.
And I wanted her to look me in my eyes, and I think I might have touched her face or something. And I told her, you know better.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
All right. And you know better.
You know better.
To me, it meant that she knows better than to go against Mr. Bishop. She knows.
Now, all of that to say, we had 3 different testimonies. Miss Dumb and Dumber and Dumb is 3 different testimonies that does not put Aya in his room. It doesn't put Fufu on the stairway. It doesn't show her coming out. Miss New Evidence. Y'all didn't get to tell y'all story because it's on video. That's not on video. Y'all think y'all gonna go there and play in them people's faces, and it ain't gonna happen. Yes, you have the right to file for an appeal, but you don't have the right to play in these people's faces. We had I showed y'all Eligio's testimony. He never mentioned himself. He talked for like 20 hours straight. Himself never said, I couldn't have done it. I had 2 people in the bedroom. Eligio himself did not place Aya in that room. He spoke for 20 hours. Janae herself did not place Aya laying on his bed. When they went into the other room, they were never in that room. And you're going to go and you're going to lie in them people's face. I know y'all all want to go to jail with him. I know this already. And going to get charged for them drones is not going to be enough time for you guys. All of you guys want to be in different jails because you feel all of y'all should be there together. I get it. Because, baby, Then we got Sheba. Sheba didn't place any of you guys in the room neither. She said, you guys lied and said she came out the room. This is what you guys said. She came out and you said to her, Ain't that what you said, Fufu? On your testimony? That's what you said, Fufu. But Sheba said, Eligio came out, and she came out right behind. She came out after him. And all she did was have a sad, a messed up look on her face. None of them places Fufu or Aya there. Not near, no 3 people. 3 people didn't say, nobody said Fufu was on the stairs. Nobody said when they walked into the room. That would have helped Nature Boy now, wouldn't it? Y'all walked in the room and Aya was laying on the bed. He spoke for 20 fucking hours. You can't say you forgot. You can't wait till you get to the appeal and said, I forgot to say that part. Hey, Miss Doubles. You cannot wait until you go for this fake appeal that people want to send all this money for nothing. For absolutely nothing. I wanted you guys to hear that part for yourselves. Nothing places Aya, FBI, in that room. So I'm going to go back a little bit. Maybe you're going to hear something different. I don't know.
those bunk beds in there,
Okay.
but, you know,
Were there kids there?
yes, my son was there.
Okay. How old was your son then?
My son at the time, he was almost 3 years old, so he's 2.
Okay. And who was the father of your son?
Aaron.
Aaron?
Mhm.
Okay. True, the person named True or Ace. That's correct?
Yes.
Okay. All right. That was your boyfriend at the time.
He's my husband at the time.
He's your husband at the time.
Yes, we got married in 2020.
In 2020. Are you guys still married?
Yes, we are.
All right. Now, you had a kid there with True or Ace. And so, Mr. Bishop, you see him, you told the state that he led her in the room. Did you see him physically push her in the room or do anything to touch her to make her go into the room against her will?
I can't remember exactly. So
Okay.
I'm not gonna say that, yeah, because I'm not 100% sure.
Okay. So you can't say if he forced her to go in the room or not.
I can't say it.
Okay. You didn't hear him hit her or anything like that to make her go in the room.
No.
You didn't hear any physical struggle, or let me rephrase that, witness a physical struggle between them as they went into the room, did you?
No.
Okay. And so when they go in the room, is the door closed?
Yes.
Okay. Do you know if he went into the room first or she went into the room first?
I don't know.
All right. You really were not paying attention, maybe.
No, I remember seeing them in the hallway going to the 3rd bedroom.
Mhm.
And I remember her like still being having that like upset look on her face. And I remember him walking towards there with her, but I can't remember exactly like if he was touching her or not. Like it was almost 2 years ago. I just can't remember exactly.
Were you on the 2nd floor when they were up there?
No, I was on the 1st floor looking up.
Okay. And so once they go inside, do you hear anything else, any screaming or physical roughness upstairs, any noises you can hear?
No.
Anything that would lead you to believe someone's fighting or anything upstairs?
No.
Any yelling or anything that would leave people arguing upstairs at all?
I didn't hear that.
Okay. And so after that, then do you guys continue a party? Do you go to sleep? Do you clean up? What do you do after you see her going in there?
So I was with the other women. We were in his bedroom. I remember we were on the phone with someone. We were just talking and stuff like that. And then I remember shortly after, like just being in the room for a while, and then Alicia walking in the bedroom, and then after him, she came in wearing a different dress. Her hair was wet, like she had taken a shower. And she just sat on the floor, her head down.
Okay. So she came in the bedroom that the rest of the girls were in, which was Mr. Bishop's bedroom?
Yes.
Okay. And you said she was wearing a different dress or a different shirt?
A different dress, like whatever she had on when she was leaving, she changed. She was wearing one of like our communal dresses, like the dresses, because all the women share clothes.
Okay.
So she was wearing one of the dresses.
Were dresses a normal thing, or was it pants and shirts, or just
for women, dresses were.
Dresses what women would normally wear. Okay. So the dress. So it's your opinion that she had a dress on when she was leaving, and when she came back, she had on she went in the room with one dress on, came back out with a different dress.
She was wearing street clothes when she was gonna be leaving. So she had on pants and a top, or she had on pants.
Okay.
But when she came into the bedroom after she had on a dress.
Okay. Was that right after Mr. Bishop came in, or at the same time? Did they come in together?
It wasn't right after. It was like minutes after, but I wouldn't be able to tell you.
Okay.
But it wasn't like he walked in, she walked in after him.
Okay. Did they communicate when they were in the room?
No, I think no.
Okay. Did she communicate with you guys at all?
I went up to her.
Okay.
And I wanted her to look me in my eyes, and I think I might have touched her face or something. And I told her, you know better.
Oh, wow.
All right. And you know better than what?
Know better.
To me, it meant that she knows better than to go against Mr. Bishop. She knows better than to disrespect or go against him in any way.
Okay.
She knows better than to say that she wants to leave, because we don't do that. We stay here and we deal with whatever we have to deal with. I just wanted her to know that, you know, I was right. Basically, like, we were right and she was wrong.
Okay.
You know?
Okay, but you were saying it kind of in a sister type of way that, hey, that was a bad idea you just had.
I don't think it was a sister type of way. I just think that it was a way to keep the control of what we had there. Just to constantly reiterate that this was our purpose. What we're doing here is what we're supposed to be doing. You going out there is going against that.
Okay. Did she say anything back to you?
She just I don't know, maybe she shook her head, but she just like continued to look down.
Okay.
And just like, she looked like she was about to start crying.
Did she have her phone with her?
In that moment, I don't remember.
Okay. All right. And so do you guys go to bed after that?
Yes, like later on we went to bed. Me, her, and Zoka slept in the third bedroom. And when I woke up in the morning, she was gone.
Okay. All right. And when you woke up in the morning, it was, I'm assuming, past 9 o'clock, kind of a late sleep. Is that typical for you guys to sleep that late?
I don't remember what time it was. And it wasn't really typical for us to sleep in late all the time. Like, it just depended on what he wanted. If he wanted us to wake up at 3 a.m., we had to wake up at 3 a.m.
Okay. Okay. All right.
It was light outside when I woke up.
Okay. All right. So when you woke up, you didn't see her.
Now, they claim that their voices was not heard. You know why your voices wasn't heard? And I was there. I knew y'all was gonna come with that lie. That's why I kept saying y'all was there. The meaning is y'all should have spoke before she spoke. If y'all were there, then she didn't put him in jail. Y'all did. I mean, according to y'all, he didn't do nothing. According to y'all, y'all was there. So the minute he got arrested, he knew he was there for Bape. He knew that. According to his interrogation, he knew that, right? Y'all didn't know why he was there, so you couldn't get your lie straight. So you rather not say nothing. That wasn't the time to take your fifth. When you decided to take the fifth and don't say nothing, which he should have did that himself. He should have took the fifth, right? So you guys decided to leave him in jail and be part of his sentence. Congratulations. Congratulations that you guys decide to be there. Dumb, dumb, and dumber, and dumb is. Right? The two dummies, the other two dummies, freaking frack, don't know what happened because they don't go upstairs. So we're gonna take freaking frack out of this one. But dumb, and dumber, and dumb is, they left that man in jail for 2 years. They claimed that they had nobody to talk to. They didn't know where to go. They kept getting to run around. How was that possible when he had like 3 lawyers? He had 3 lawyers. He had the Caucasian guy when he wanted the bond. You guys didn't say nothing. Miss, I was there. I was in his bed. 2 years later, after that man spent 2 years in jail, now all of a sudden you was in the bed. So that will question you guys' motives now. And we're gonna get into you guys' motives. Why would y'all leave that man roasting in jail? And we're gonna get back to y'all did it. Y'all left him roasting in jail. Y'all was there, didn't say nothing. So we're going to get into y'all testimonies soon, right? We're going to get into y'all. But we are out of here. And I thank you guys for being here.